Hi guys, what's going on? Well, that feels strange. I don't want to open it in my usual video format. Welcome to a stream, I guess, which feels kind of rare for me. So just as a very quick rundown of what's going to happen today then. So if you've not been to one of these before, this is the Season 12 preview event. So essentially, we get about half an hour or so, 40 minutes, where we have to, we watch through the My.Games GMs initially going through, so we'll see them. And then we actually get into the PTR ourselves, and that's when we can actually get into battles, test the new units, try things out, etc., and go from there. So that's the broad plan. So welcome to everyone who's joining in. No face cam today. I am in a hotel, so I don't actually have my camera with me. Unfortunately, we're having to make do with what we've got. So yeah, hopefully we're just waiting for the My Game stream to kick off, which it should do shortly, and then we should start to get our first look. And then, yeah, as I say, after that, we'll then be getting into the game, into the PTR, and being able to test some stuff out. Because I think we've got 2 new seasonal units coming so far, which will kind of be interesting to test. So I'm quite looking forward to that. We will probably end up doing, hopefully we'll end up doing a small video on them, which will be kind of nice. Same as we always do. I mean, similar format to every season, really. So hopefully this is going to kick off shortly. They're late. It's normally supposed to be they're 5 minutes late. How could they? But welcome to everyone who's joining in. Do say hello in the chat. Do give the video a like. Let me know what's going on. Yes, more Vikings. We have indeed got more Vikings on the way. I actually don't know the release date. When does the new season start? Is it the 12th or is it the 9th? I honestly can't even remember. It's one of them. Does anyone know? Does anyone know? They did announce a date, I think. I believe. 9th. Okay. Which is kind of a shame, really, because that's this Thursday. I don't get back home till Sunday, so I'm going to be stuck here for quite a while. Someone suggested refresh as it launched, does it? It has. Let me know how that is volume-wise. Obviously, I don't want to drown out my own beautiful voice. Goddamn horn bellow spam, yes. There's definitely going to be some horn spam. I do like the background song. I actually didn't know who it is. It's a bloke called Cole McGuinness or something, which he's been doing some pretty epic Viking music for a while. Because I remember trying to see if I could get any of it copyright free back when we had Season 7. I couldn't. No sound. Okay, where are we going wrong then? Oh, I know what I've done. Bear with. Hang on. I remembered something. Now we've got to do a quick bit of... I will get sound back in a second. I need to manage sound devices at volumes. Put it back to default. Have you got sound now? That should have given you sound, hopefully.
That while we are on the PTR today, that it is not the finalized version that you will.
Can you hear that? Can you hear that?
Some things are still getting fine-tuned.
That is correct.
Yes.
So,
okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I set it so that when I'm recording I can listen to music on Chrome in the background, so I basically nobbled Chrome so you can hear it.
Many years ago. Only one was able to send them back.
Increase a little bit.
And that was Shield Maiden Hjördis Ulfarsdottir. I knew I was going to struggle with that pronunciation. We haven't seen much of the Northmen since. However, as we
I've just turned it up a little bit, see if that makes a difference.
Steps forward to take his claim as king in the north. He wishes to re-establish the Northlands Empire and will stop at nothing to do so. But will he be victorious?
Well, to be victorious, he's going to.
We're getting a little bit of the lore going on.
People fighting by his side. So why don't we take a look at the new units that we're going to be getting this season?
I think that sounds like a great idea. Let's take a look.
So we've got 2 units this season.
The Huscars coming first on June 9th at launch. These guys,
I mean, Huscars, I am excited for.
Personal guards and are some of the most formidable warriors in the north. They have fought for Harald with unwavering loyalty and determination. They sing their Skald song, which bolsters their power in battle the longer that they sing it.
That is correct. So let's take a look at some of these skills. Up first, we have Boar's Snout, which forces the Huscars
Oh god, they
into
get a lot of
formation in front
skills.
of the hero to help fight off enemies, and then they move along in formation.
Okay,
We
interesting.
then have Skald Song. They beat their weapons on their shields to the tune of an ancient war song, inspiring themselves as well as their northern colleagues, increasing movement as well as slashing and blunt armor penetration, reducing damage taken. The longer the war song lasts, the more
Okay, so it's like a
inspiring it
self
becomes.
boost.
A fearsome
So you can like
thing
buff
to hear
yourself
on the
before you then
battlefield.
charge in.
It's going to be terrifying to hear on the battlefield. I'm just anticipating it.
Remember the Shield Maiden charge? That scream is just perpetually strikes fear into my heart, so I'm sure that this is going to have a similar effect. Up next,
Certainly.
we've got the Huscars charge, in which they charge
Okay.
forward towards the nearest enemy.
It's just a
launching
normal
continuous
charge ability.
attack. That's
Makes
what we
sense.
saw in the trailer for Helheim, where that Huskar just
Thrones of
launches
Britannia
into an
time.
attack
It is,
on that
it is.
unfortunate soul that gets pinned to the ground. Up next,
I
we've
want
got
to be on the receiving end of that charge.
Avoid at all costs. We've got the Sea Surge. The Huscars charge towards the nearest enemy and launch one all-out attack. So they will
Okay.
be in position around you, and then they will push out in sort of an all-directional surge. So definitely make sure that if
Strange
you're,
ability,
if you're
all
feeling like
directional.
you're getting
I don't know how
pressed in,
useful
that's
that
a
would
great
be
way to
unless
clear
you're
some space between
completely
you
surrounded.
and the advancing forces. So that's a great ability to keep in mind. And as well, and finally, but by no means least, we have Gathering Storm. Huskars make a short sprint forward.
Yeah,
If they
now that's a
collide with
lot
an
more
enemy,
useful.
They will immediately knock them down. Great for giving you just a little bit of breathing room and a little bit more time to make your decision about what you're going to do next.
And you'll also notice, look at the terrain effects. They're great in
great
urban.
addition to any
That's
warband.
pretty
Of
much going to
course,
be
they
most
come
siege
with
maps.
The benefits
all
of
siege maps.
Northlanded Legend. So throughout the season, they'll have 10 less leadership cost during Hellhound.
21 units.
Next, we have the Skald Song ability. So the ability increases over time up to 50%, and the Northlander blood, it means that they are able to interact with Skald Song. So keep an eye out for that as well. So that
Okay, kind of interesting.
that is your Huscars.
I think they're going to have pretty good base damage. Remember when you're looking at them
Terrifying.
in
Like,
those
even more
stats in this
terrifying
preview, that's them as level
next
0, so they're going to have
the
more
Varangian
health than
Guards.
that when they actually come out into the game.
They're
And then we have the Varangian Guard.
so stern.
These do look cool.
They do. They really
These
do.
guys are scary. I don't like this.
They're going to be coming.
I guess
in
we can go full
July
screen. I don't know why we
11th,
wouldn't.
and these guys are the defenders of the royal family. They use their shields, their swords, and their axes to maintain stability in the Kingdom of Empiros, as was their oath to the royal family. The Varangian Guards are fierce and full of rage. They will unleash a fury of attacks at their enemies as they fought through the north. These guys
Wow.
look
Okay,
great.
16
Pretty
stack
sweet.
unit. Lot of abilities. Again, look, they got 5 abilities.
So
Take a look at their abilities.
up front, the main core mechanic of the Varangian Guards is their attack and defense. While wielding swords, this unit can soak up damage and build up their rage. And while they wield their axes,
Okay,
they
so it's
then
like a
consume
berserker
rage to
ability.
do far more damage, and they are very, very scary. As a tier 5 unit, they are kitted out with some of the finest equipment that can be spared for them. And obviously, being Royal Guards,
I suspect
they
part
come
of the
kitted
reason why
to
we've
the-
got
to the-
another,
to the knights.
basically
They've got the
Viking
best
season
gear around,
is
which makes
because
them
season 7, the
fire
last Viking season,
resistant.
was
Up the
just
first
so
on their orders that
successful.
you can issue them with is unbreakable. While they hold up their shields, they take a cut to their movement and attack speed, slightly inhibiting their movement and attack speed, but reduce their damage taken by 30% as well. After successfully
successful
blocking,
block.
they take 60% reduced damage for 1 second. So they've
Okay,
got
that's going to
a
give
fair
them
bit
quite
of
an extra defense buff
bracing
then.
power, so they can absorb punishment if the need arises. But you can then call on the raging
Soldiers pull out their
onslaught,
two-handed
which makes
axes,
them
increasing all
stow
types
away
of
their sword and
AP,
shield and
armor
reach for their two-handed
penetration
axes,
by 300 as well
gaining
as damage.
armor penetration
And gaining new
increases
rage skills.
by 300
Okay,
points,
it's going to be
and
interesting.
the new rage skills. These rage skills are Great Sweep, which consumes 30% of their rage for a horizontal sweep, and crowd control
CC immunity for 2 seconds.
And if they're below 50% health, they gain 20% of their max health back. This knocks down enemies.
Oh, God, these really are going to be
Very,
like
very
like a
vulnerable.
tier 5 berserker
The
then.
second one is Colossal Strike. 30% rage, again, and again, 20% of their max health back if they are below 50% health, and 2 seconds of crowd control immunity.
It's these CC immunities I probably dislike the most because it makes them kind of unstoppable.
And the third, Shatter Shields, which consumes 40%. If you've been keeping track at home, that's a 100% of the rage if you use all 3 of these. Once again, they gain health, they are immune to crowd control, and knock down enemies. And once all rage has been consumed, they stow their axes and draw their sword and shield again, and the cycle begins
To charge
again,
the
and you
enemy,
can start
gaining.
on
So you
your
can
way,
basically have
cleaving
3
through
separate
wave after
CC
wave
immune
of
abilities if you
enemies
go in with
these Varangian
100%
Guards by your
range.
side. They are
That
magic.
is quite a lot, and each of them
What if
give
using his
a
unlimited
significant
knockdown
amount of
triggers
health
to unlock
recovery,
this season,
presumably
Varangian Guard
instant
can
health
come out
recovery
to
as
play.
well. So that's
Yeah.
going to
I'm
be,
just going to be lying down on the ground.
at least on paper, it sounds
You know
pretty
what? You and
dominant.
I have built up a
It sounds
reputation
like
of
tier 5
taking this taken
berserkers to
now.
me, but
Now,
but we'll get
might
into
be
the
able to
game
take it now.
once this stream is over and we can actually start to test them. But
how
yeah, that
Team
sounds
Conquerors.
quite dominant.
you get it. So that's our new units.
Yeah, and you'll be able to unlock these units with the ways that you're familiar with.
You've got your unit challenges. That's
Yes.
correct. So you'll get your hands on a 3-day contract, then a specific doctrine, then you'll get some XP medals, and of course, then the 4th stage picks you up that unit. And then you can progress all the way through to pick up bonus XP
Yeah,
medals.
as Nat says, sounds like
specific
Madow's
doctrine,
Axe Raiders
and
when they came
an
out.
avatar, just to show people just
Yeah,
how
I know what
seriously
you
you're
mean.
taking it.
I could see it to be dominant, but we'll
Now that we
actually
have
get to
these
test them
units,
shortly.
though,
Sometimes
some
on
personal
paper
notes
isn't
of
as
reworked
dominant as it is in
maps.
reality.
I think we can take a look at some reworked maps right now. How about this?
Okay, we've got a new map, or reworked map. Interesting. Okay, this is oh, this is the Paris map. Brock Estuary, that's the Scottish season map. I mean, it's kind of hard to see just from the cinematics. I mean, I must admit, it didn't look like a
I like the
great
look of
deal
that.
had necessarily
Looks so
changed
good.
on any of
These
those
3
maps.
have gotten a
Other
little bit
than,
more
you know, I
dangerous
guess the
with Helheim.
visuals, they've probably
Welcome to the raid on
Vikingified them.
Brockenstray,
But
coming with the release on June 9th.
have they
The
actually
raid on
adjusted to the...
Aurelian, which of course is Le Grand Gloire, coming June 27th, and the raid on Heilung Fjord, coming July 18th.
That is correct. The Northmen have come to stake their claim and attack these lands. These maps have now got added AI for both attackers and defenders. The ruins of Brockenstray.
Okay, they've added AI into them, right.
Just hanging out behind me, looking incredibly dramatic. These will see the Northmen at their shores. It is up to the people of Brockenstray to defend with the Wolves of Ragnarok attacking while Highlanders step in with their claymores to aid the defense.
Yes, and on Le Grand Gloire, when the attackers have taken point A, the Wolves of Ragnarok will step in to aid the assault. Similarly, the people of Pays Le Gloire, the units that we've grown familiar with during the Paragons, they will arrive to help with the defense.
That
And on Heilung
is
Fjord,
correct.
So it's going to be like
when the
the
attackers have
Highlands
claimed
Ford,
A
where they're
or
going to
B
add AI
point,
in.
The Highlanders and Paragon units will be coming in to aid the attack. And on the defense, the Wolves of Ragnarok will come in, and there'll be additional reinforcements when the attackers occupy some other points.
That is correct. So, as you push up and move that front line forward and keep that momentum going with the attack, more and more units will be coming to your aid, and you will be launching a persistent attack on these territories that you're hoping to stake a claim on. You'll find the same objectives and routes with these maps, but you'll hear new music, special unit formations, and modified terrain in the form of Northmen's longboats dotted around the shore.
I kind of wish they'd adjusted some of the routes a little bit, though, so you kind of got a new attack
Heavy
patterns
rain
to
and
learn.
Thunderstorms, which I love thunderstorms. They're my favorite kind of weather, so I'm very excited to fight on these maps with thunderstorms.
It's going to be
And
great.
we will also be live tomorrow at 17:30 CEST with some of our content creators to be testing out these maps and showing them to you.
Right
if you
back
want to see
here.
them in action, back here tomorrow, 17:30 CEST. Right
That
here.
is correct.
Be there.
So you've got new units and new battlegrounds on which to carve out a new legacy and write your story into the annals of history. You can master your fate on all these new battlefields.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they've only done
You wanna
two
get
this
rewarded
season.
for doing that, right? Glory isn't enough. Victory isn't enough.
They normally
If only there
give
was
us
a way
3.
You could be rewarded.
We may end up having a
There was
video on
some sort
Imperial
of
Shields at some point. I don't know.
Something.
Possibly. I wouldn't mind doing one, but
Pass.
we shall see.
Correct.
Let's take a look at the battle pass right here. So,
So someone said they've actually reworked the battle pass,
hang on,
but
we want to be on the other side.
initially-
to see everything that's coming up. Here we are.
initially it looks
The battle pass
kind
this
of the
season has
same.
been reworked, so the rewards feel like rewards and less like burdens to get to. The battle pass is continuing to be worked on, so everything that you're seeing here might be moved around a little bit. Their positions on the battle pass are subject to change, so
Tuning.
don't be surprised if a couple of things have swapped places between now and Thursday. But there's a couple of things that I immediately want to touch on.
Oh, yes.
Number one, the Lopter's Hide attire.
Okay, so
Look
this is
at
the
This
opening
so
battle
good.
pass
It's
attire.
so good.
Okay, looks
Look at
kind of
this.
cool. I'm not sure I love
I
the
am
green,
Absolutely loving this. That green is just, mwah.
but I kind of like it. I
just
kind of
think
like
it's
it.
gonna look so cool. Seeing a bunch of mischievous deities surging across the battlefield. I'm loving it. I think that's really cool. What's your favorite part of this?
Something I literally, in this moment, just noticed. I love that they have a horn cup on their hip.
Great. You got.
What do we think? What do we think of the battle pass attire?
Happy
Yes
ready
or no?
to
Are we
celebrate.
liking it or are we
That's it. That
disliking
battle
it?
could be over at
That's it.
any moment. You got to keep yourself ready for a victory drink at any given moment, for sure.
I'm not sure.
Hydrated.
There's bits of it I like and bits of it I dislike.
Up next,
It's a no from
so
Alan.
we've got that, and that looks just.
Sure, looks meh, but I like the helmet. Okay, people liking the helmet, the little horns.
Ridiculous.
That kind of, it's like a goat
it
almost.
looks
It's
so
like a
good.
goat's ram's
I
head.
love the fur, horns. It looks
It's
incredible.
okay.
So that is available to you when you pick up the Season 12 Battle Pass for Helheim. When you get your hands
People
on that,
prefer it in
you
blue.
will be able to
Yeah,
pick that up.
I
And
can
of course,
understand
you get
that.
Fortune's Favour, 50% bonus glory during this season. So the sooner you get it, the more it's worth. You've got your chest of bronze to get you started.
Yeah,
If
I
you
agree.
don't pick it up,
Helmet's nice, armor's a bit meh.
and here you
Okay,
are, you're
I
on
agree.
your
I
way.
agree.
You've got your rewards for the first 5 tiers. And let's just keep it going. You've got a bunch of schematics right up front. So you are in luck. And at level 6, you get a chest of resources. And then you've got your blades, which you can spend on.
Okay, so far it's
We'll find
kind of
out later on.
just the usual battle
Up
pass
next,
stuff.
we've got artillery chests and silver keys and an epic artillery selection box at level 15. That might be of some use to you.
Loki. Yes, it does look a bit like
Find
Loki.
place to use that. And at level 20, Thunder's Call banner.
I do quite like the banner, actually, to be
love this
fair.
banner.
I like the gold
I love
outline.
The colors of this banner, like
What is
those,
there to say?
the shades of blue and the red are just so vibrant together. And then the hammer, it just looks cool.
I love the details.
I like
on
that
this.
banner.
Yeah.
It
I
looks
think that
clean.
might be. I might go so far as to
does.
say the banner is the best banner we've actually had in the
Really
game.
shows off that royalty and that.
I like it.
Uh,
People agree. Yeah, we're liking the banner. Banner good.
Banner.
Banner good.
Absolutely. So, up next, we've got a bunch
We're
of cool
going
stuff.
through.
What's the next thing that you think catches your eye?
Well, if we keep continuing,
Just
on,
normal stuff. Nice, we're getting treaties, but
pop up
kind of
around
all just
40
standard stuff.
looking at
emote
what
that we're
looks
gonna
like
get
it
this
right there.
season.
Pour one
I'm
out.
so excited for because it is so sassy. The pour one out emote. Can we show it off real quick?
Yes, we can.
If you have
There
on
it
here.
is.
I think
There
I
it
love
is.
this emote. It's so sassy, and I can't wait to do it all of the time.
Absolutely.
It's a strange
That is-
one.
That is huge. That is
Well,
a hugely
I'm not quite sure I quite get the point of it, but
emote. That is such a flex to just be.
I
like,
hope
yeah,
I hope
yes,
it's
I'm
not
just
a
gonna- I'm gonna
I hope
waste
it's
my
not an
time
alcohol
with this.
emote.
There
Otherwise,
you
that's
go.
criminal to
What
pour it
now?
on the
What
floor.
now?
So good.
Hopefully, that's
Love
just
that.
water.
Can't wait to put that to use. So that is going to be available when you progress through the battle
There's
pass.
some more Lotus Waters. They're one of the more useful things to get because they allow you to take
The unit
take
attire this season.
doctrines off, which is really
Anahira's
useful.
Jar, again, pronunciations. I'm really good at it. And Hujar's unit attire. I
Okay.
love this unit attire. If you've never been to any of our preview events,
I kind of like the horse unit attire section.
For this unit attire, the hammer on the front.
Yeah, I like the horse, but I'm.
The barding.
Do I like the
just
unit
so
attire
subtle.
on the bloke? I'm not sure. I love the.
For sure, big fan.
I like the horse,
nice,
not the
it's a
unit.
Touch.
What do we think?
That hammer, which is reflected through a lot of the attires and things this season, to be there just looks.
Oh, it's salt.
Good.
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
Beautiful blue. I love
Pouring
it.
some salt on people.
It's very practical armor and very accurate.
Yeah, it doesn't, like you say, as someone said, it doesn't really fit the monastics very well. Yeah, if you had a unit without the lance, then I think that would be better. Maybe armigers or something where they got more of a sort of early medieval spear. I think could be better.
I'm loving the amount of schematics that you get, as well as the huge chests of resources. That means I'm going to be rolling the dice on seeing if I can't.
They're saying you're getting more schematics, but I'm pretty sure on the last battle pass, at some levels, you used to get 3 schematics in one. Are you actually getting more schematics, or they just spread them out more?
But at level 70, what are we looking at?
Oh, come on then, let's have a look at this horse attire.
Horse attire. I love this horse attire. I feel like I say that all the time. That I love this attire. I really do. And again,
first glance, I like it.
I noticed this morning when I was looking at this attire.
Nice if we can
the saddle itself,
pan round a little bit.
Actually sitting,
I like the horns.
Kind of looks like a
longboat. Yeah, it's got.
I like this. This is nice.
You wouldn't even think about it.
Got a good balance of detail.
I love that attention.
I love the plate on the front.
That they're bringing in as much as they can in the horse attire, because it could just be a regular saddle, but why not make it look like a longboat? Heck
I like it. I like that. I think there's a good amount of detail. I like things like the prow of the ship on the saddle and stuff like that.
Of course.
And the bit of red cloth swaying down from the back. It's nice. I like that.
We showcased the mount attire, which was a unicorn, and everyone loved it.
Looks like a Viking plus Scythian horse attire. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
3, maybe, if you count this bit in the middle. Even more.
I like how the horse is actually a zebra underneath.
Your horse is going to be looking radiant, resplendent.
Atlas not so keen. That's understandable. I'm liking this one. Not as much as my Templar horse attire, but I'm liking it.
With you on the back, looking amazing. And it's not just you and your horse that's going to look good. You're going to need a weapon, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Everyone.
Here we are.
Icelandian zebra.
Gets their hands on the Helheim weapon chest.
Oh, so we'll get to see, hopefully we might get to see all the different new weapon skins that we should be getting with the season.
At level 85, again, all these rewards, more gold dust, epic barding schematic. I'm all over this. Everyone at level 85 gets a legendary artillery.
Well, we normally get a legendary artillery
box.
box.
On one of 4 legendary artillery
That's kind of standard for a battle pass.
Very exciting. We also have level 94, kneel and flex.
Another remote.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we had flex, kneel and flex as an emote already. Well, we certainly had flex as an emote, I think.
Yeah. And of course...
Okay, this is going to be the level 100 battle pass attire.
Bringer of Thunder.
It's good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, that was a... Oh, okay, this is the longer...
attire is the
It's kind of harder to see it in these...
mastery of this season and the challenges it brings you. Truly amazing stuff. I love it. It's got such a beautiful colour scheme. I think it looks fantastic.
What do we think? I'm not sure. I sort of like the helmet, I think. I kind of like the wings. I can't deny. Even though they're not very historical, I sort of like it.
I like that a lot. So...
no, I kind of like it. Not the greatest attire ever, I don't think, but I like it. I like it. Thor-like. Yeah, I think that's actually probably quite a good description, actually. It is quite Thor-like.
I just noticed the bracers, the top of the bracers.
Oh.
Bracers also have that.
Is that me or was that them? Maybe a slight bit of lag there.
And then the sort of, I've noticed that these sort of buckles have the sort of 3-headed spiral, which I think I've spotted on a couple.
Not sure about the lower part.
And there's the hammer again at the top of the chest plate. It's right there. It's right there. It's everywhere.
With the Minotaur helmet. Yeah, that could work, actually.
Unbelievable. Amazing stuff. So, you're going to get that weapon chest at level 70. That's fine.
Are we going to get to see the
That
runes?
means
I
you
am
get
kind of
one
curious about
free
the rune
weapon
situation.
attire of your choosing. But let's say you play 2 weapons. Maybe you want to pick a second one.
Maybe.
Good news. The seasonal store has you covered.
Okay, so these are all the new weapon attires we're going to be getting.
Weapons. Up first, we have got Njord's Bulwark, the short sword and shield. Just
Okay, is that
so
supposed to be
pristine.
like a falcon?
It's looking real good.
I think it is
Love
probably
the
supposed to
dual
be.
serpent design on both
I
sides,
kinda
the
like
blue
it.
and the white. Just look.
I kind of like it.
Great.
Stunning.
Up next, Forseti's Judgment.
I think we're
Blade
struggling a
users
bit on the
rejoice.
on my
This
old internet
is
is
no
struggling.
joke.
Which is
The
no
God of
no
Justice
particular
used the
surprise.
wind
This
and
is an
waves to guide
Evo
the
stream
lawmaker's
after
ship
all.
to an unnamed island. Now this represents their journey. I love the hilt, especially. Again, reminds me of that longbow aesthetic. Real cool. And then
Oh,
the
this is
blade
the
looks
pole axe. Oh no, it's the
superb as
glaive.
well.
I thought it was the
My
pole axe for a
personal
moment.
favorite, I think, one of my favorites. I was, you know what? I said my personal favorite, and then my eyes just scanned the rest of the page, and I was like, I can't pick a favorite.
Yeah, when we get into
But
game, we'll
one of the
actually
ones
go
that
through the whole
immediately
fame
always
shop.
comes to
That's
mind.
something I want to check
Nickel's
out as well.
Justice.
But we're just not into
The
game quite yet.
Longsword and shield. This longsword looks
I don't really like the
terrifying.
shield. It's
And the
kind of
shield
like
is beautiful.
a bit like the Italian
I love
mercenary
how
season back in
the blade
season
itself,
3.
and you can
Feels like a bit like a
catch it every so often
condottieri
with a light
condottieri
just
shield,
right.
which
Just that
isn't very
engraving, that
Viking, I don't
very
think.
Fine engraving on
Yep.
the blade itself.
Just on the
Again.
face of the blade, not on the edges. Incredible, incredible. And the hilt has so much going on. It tells a story all of its own. And then we look at the shield. You've got those beautiful serpent designs.
Yeah, no,
and
don't
the
love
runic
don't love that
engravings
one
all
as
around
design.
it. And that thing's
Yeah,
that
italic
thing's sharp.
teardrop shield. I agree.
Whatever that
Yeah, I
shield
don't want
is.
to get hit with that.
Yeah, avoid that.
No.
Avoid that. Up next, poleaxe
Okay,
users will get
poleaxe.
their hands on a two-handed great axe of their own in Mimir's wisdom. The faces of this axe tell a
I
whole
can't.
story.
It's
There's so
too
much
long.
detail
It's off the
in
top of the
this.
screen. I can't really see it.
Love it. I am not going to be excited to see that being swung at me, but
No.
you know.
That is absolutely stunning. And the
Okay,
gold on it
moving
is
on to the
just
spear next, by the looks of it.
Big fan.
gorgeous.
Spear users will be able to wield Freya's Resolve. Again, that beautiful blue color coming back in. That motif is returning. And
Okay.
it's just going to look so good. That's just going to look so good on the battlefield. Nadachi users will be able to wield Heimdallr's Wisdom.
Kind of curious to what
And,
this Nadachi is. Jesus, it's big, isn't
I,
it?
know, I say it every time. That is a big sword.
That
It
is a
really
big
is.
sword. I agree
that
with
is
him.
a serious weapon.
It,
That
it
is-
almost
yeah,
feels
that's really
slightly
something.
too
And
big.
Just love it. Love the detail on this.
Absolutely.
So very, very cool.
Okay, after this, what we've got? Pike.
Aegir's Might for the pike users. Now those
Actually, it looks a bit more
those
like a
tassels of
classic
braids
spear,
are
actually,
just-
Love the
which is
tassels. I
kind of
don't like
nice.
the
Although
pike, but I love
I guess he still
the
kind of
It's-
holds it in a
attires.
fairly
So
sort of
flashy. Because of the tassels.
Asian way.
Yeah.
I guess it would be
It's so
nice if
flash-
you
yeah,
could
it's
flick with Pike between
just
sort
an
of like
extra
a
bit of
shield
flair
wall
and
type
panache
Pike, which I guess
to,
is what the
you
spear
know,
is supposed
just
to be. Really.
acrobatic mastery of
But
the
I actually
martial
kinda like
art.
the look of
It's
that
so
pike.
cool. And I
And
can't
when you
wait
get
to bring
hit
that
by
in.
it, like when you get stabbed by a pike, just you get tickled by the tassels, and it's just like
Alan's
an extra
liking the
slap in
spear.
face.
Spear is
It really-
nice.
It really is.
Just additional
looks great.
disrespect. We've got
Most
Lord
weapons look
Fate,
too fat
the
or
musket.
thin.
Now,
Not
this
a
musket
fan.
is meaty.
I know what you
That is
mean.
a sizable weapon. And
It really
Like you
is.
say, they've sort
the
of just
the hammer
added 20% too
of
much
the
girth
sort
onto
of
everything,
flip-block
which
there,
is kind
the
of a
hammer
bit
that will come down
strange,
and
I
strike,
suppose.
is a dragon's head.
Not
How
quite
cool is
sure why it's
that?
gone like that.
That's
That looks
amazing.
Great.
That is so great.
And
And
then not to forget to mention, he's got an axe on the front.
I do
not
like the
drop
fact it has
this on
an
your
axe
feet.
No.
on the front of your musket.
Be
That's
careful.
kind of cool. I like that.
like drop that and try and grab it.
I wish you could use it
Be
though.
careful, okay? It's sharp.
Not that I ever play musket, but if I did, it would be
Alright.
cool to hit
That
someone with
looks
the axe on
extra
your front of your
threatening.
musket.
It just seems extra threatening.
We've got Hothur's Lament, the longbow, and again, so much detail in this. What's your favorite detail about
It
this?
looks like you'd probably need like
The
to be like a
longbow is being
world
integrated
heavyweight
into
champion
the
to pull that
motif
bow
that's
back. It's
coming
so
in.
thick.
The edges
Must be
of
like
the
a
bow
300-pound
remind you
bow.
of the front.
Yes, evocative of the sort of dragon's head on the
Yes.
longboat.
You have it on
Absolutely.
both sides, and I think that's just a nice little detail that really works well with the bow.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And of course, the quiver
Okay, what we've
looks
got?
stunning. The leather work is so detailed. You can see individual stitches.
I don't know if the
in
quiver
seam.
looks that
And
stunning.
let's be honest,
It's fine.
using a longbow, you're going to be seeing the back of.
Should get to
your
see the
wall
short
quite a lot.
bow.
You're
I always
seeing
think
that
that
quiver
I
quite
feel
a lot.
like
That is a fantastic
aesthetically the
bow to
bows are kind of quite hard
So,
to make nice because they just
I will not be
obviously it's
upset
still got to look
having
like a
that on
bow.
my back.
And they kind of
Short bow
always look
users, we're not
fairly
leaving you
similar.
out.
I think
Sigurd's boon is on its way to you, and then again, the quiver again
might be the only reasonably
ridiculous.
sized weapon we've had so far.
ridiculous. You are bow users eating good this season. Oh, it looks so good. Love it.
And then similarly to the bow, it has the
Looks like
longbow
looking at the dual blade
motif
picture. It looks like we're going to be having like
the
small knives.
front on the edges of
It
the
looks,
bow. It's just a nice.
The daggers are Sixers. Yes, I agree. They are. They're like
With the way
aren't
it's
Sixers like also
blades.
like eating knives
We
half
see
the time.
you, even though you're trying to be invisible,
People
we
like
see you
multitask
and
with
we've
them.
got you covered.
Oh, they
Now,
are quite
they're not
chunky though, aren't they?
Daggers. The day and night deities in the mythology of the
Oh, they're
Northlanders.
meaty.
The
Crikey.
duality of them is represented in these blades. You've got some pretty meaty looking blades here. They look a bit like
look
cleavers.
hefty.
They
See,
are sizable. I do not want to be ambushed by
even
that.
Blunt says they're meaty knives. They are.
Not to forget to mention the ivory hilts.
I knew you were going to point them out. I was already turning the character around to show them off. They are so good. Are you kidding
I think
me?
it's the only weapon skin that I think.
And then looks like we're
has
going to be getting
Yeah.
a maul as well,
ivory
obviously.
look to it, which I
Very
think is
unique.
really interesting.
Yeah, it really makes them stand out for sure. Absolutely. I'm a big fan of that. And I'm sure dual blade users across the lands are rejoicing.
You have to have an
about
all new level of endurance to
I
do
will
dual
try.
blade moves with those meaty knives. It
Guaranteed,
would.
guaranteed. It's-
It would.
it's
The
gonna happen.
weight and
It's
inertia would just like throw you out as you do your backflip and spin around.
Blast.
It would like fling you off because they're so heavy.
No.
We've seen so many motifs referencing the hammer. The hammer.
Okay, go on. Is it going to be
Here it
a
is.
good-looking maul or
Thor's
not?
Wrath. The maul. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, it
Okay,
looks.
I kind of like the look of the
best.
maul. Not that I've not played maul for like
I
well
am,
over a
you know,
year.
someone who isn't a huge maul user.
I kind of like it. I think it
love
looks
all the
pretty
maul skins,
decent.
but this is
It's very
probably
much
my
kind of like a
favourite one
Thor's
so far.
hammer type maul, which is kind of nice to see.
It's very clean for them all.
Very clean, very refined. It looks like it respects what it represents.
Thor's hammer, only
It's
bigger.
got a
It
real
is. It is a little bit.
reverence, and
Like you say, if you
the
cut off like the
intricacy in
bottom
this one,
80% of
intricacy
the
in this one,
handle, it really
I'm so
would be
excited
Thor's
I can't
hammer.
Speak. It looks so good. The intricacy on this one is just second to none. This is
I'm sure it will have them all kidnapper's touch. Yes.
weapon skins, in my opinion. This is the one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that's not all. The seasonal store also
Oh,
has
no.
antique weapons. We've got the Crow Feeder's short sword and shield, which has this
I like that
amazing
more.
relief of a Viking, and those chains on the front. Looks so
Kind
good.
of cooler with the chains.
We have
I love
got
that. I love
Oh.
that all the antique weapon skins all have now this red and purple that we've seen reflected in a lot of the
yes.
attires that you've gotten throughout the battle pass. And I love that you're getting this red and purple, which previously they were that teal and turquoise.
We'll
and
hopefully
gray
be able to
color.
get ourselves into
Absolutely.
games soon, and then we
We've
can
seen
actually
that
test out not only some of the
Yes.
units,
To-
but
to
we can
sort of
test out some of this
violets
stuff here
and-
as well,
and
which would be kind of
the
nice to be able to do.
reds And the maroons.
Yeah, and they really work well together.
Yeah, it's a great combination. Similarly, you can take a look at all of these antiques. They are all available in the store. Special shout out, of course, to the antique Fenrir's Fang. This wolf relief on the front.
I
with
don't know if these are
chains.
supposed to be the season 7
Unbelievable.
antique attires. I think they might well be.
Of course.
I love the chains.
I mean, it
you
would
can
make
pick up
sense
an
considering on the
antique
Viking
Thane's
season. So
attire, the beginning of the Battle Pass 4. An
the
antique
new
version
season's
of
out on the
Battle
9th,
Pass
apparently. I think
from,
everyone said earlier on.
Season 7, Wolves of Ragnarok, if you want to channel your inner wolf.
Yes.
And the antique Odin attire. I personally am going to go for this one because season 7, Wolves of Ragnarok, was my first ever season playing Conqueror.
This is the one where if you stand around for too long, the man blows the horn and annoys everyone.
Felt sad that I never
So
got
it's,
it. So
it's kind of a
this-
slightly annoying
this is gonna
hero
make it right.
attire.
So
Yes.
that's going to be amazing. And of course, you can get Tears Warband unit attire as well. You can pick up one of those. For
Ah,
2,000
Keshigs.
blades.
Ah,
So get your
hide.
hands on that. These will be going up for the
Season
next
7
season
attire
as
is
well,
way
so
better than this
keep an eye
season. I can kind of,
You can
I
still get your hands
don't
on
disagree
the
necessarily.
antiques from season 8 Dynasty. And if you've got any blades to spare, you can pick up all the usuals that you've come to expect.
At
from
least
the
they've
seasonal
kept
store.
some things like the Lotus
There we
Water and
are.
the treaties, Padded Silver, the Battle XP
Well, it's a
cards
lot
as
to
well.
lot to spend your blades on.
I know.
It's a lot to
I might
take
just
in.
leave you running that and actually just see if they've opened up
uh,
the PTR server. They
Some
may
of the
well have done
familiar
by now.
things will be sticking around the season, and some will be
Or we
leaving.
can log in.
Like seasonal runes. They'll be here for Helheim as well.
I better start logging into the
runes from
PTR while
Paradise
you...
will take their
Hopefully you
leave,
can still see
and
what's
the new
going on.
runes from Helheim will take their place. Like any season, runes will be used to infuse
Oh, maybe
power
you
into
actually
weapons,
lose sight of the thing
helmet,
if I open
armor,
my
bracers, and
other
runes.
menu, which isn't
Different
helpful.
runes will unlock different amounts and different types.
It's not
of energy
helpful.
As you level up. Your seasonal level.
I'm trying to
you'll be
load up
unlocking
the
every 5
Conqueror's
seasonal
Blade
levels
PTR
up
so we can
to
get in game
50
nice and quickly
by
once they let
a
us
set
in.
of 6
You can
runes
probably hear it
for
starting
your
up in the
different armor
background.
parts and weapon types. Now, something that is changing is that your maximum rune energy for armor.
Oh, they're
has
showing
been
us the
increased
runes.
from 5 or to 5. It has been previously 3.
Oh.
And there'll be also an added special effect to some runes
Uh.
called Roar of the North, which will grant different buffs based on the runes that are equipped. Now, I know some of our CCs are going to be taking a super deep dive into the runes. Don't worry, you'll get all of that from them.
Yep.
But let's take a few look at the first few that you'll be able to unlock right now.
Okay, interesting.
That's
They're showing
correct.
us the runes.
Here we go. At seasonal level 5, you'll be picking up Armsvartnir for your helm, as well as Bilskinir.
Trigger increasing.
These will grant you shortening your healing time and grant you increased damage after killing a hero. That will trigger
Okay,
Roar
well,
of the
that's...
North, increasing all types of damage by 30
Yeah, I guess
points
it's
for
a
10
derivative
seconds,
of an
and that then
existing rune in a
coincides
sense, even though it's kind of
with
slightly newly worded.
Other abilities that you'll find out later on in the rune tree. Up next, you have Elivagar and Firisvelir, which are for your armor, reducing damage taken from rear attacks and headshots, and then while
Roar of the North is
in
effective,
effect,
you are immune to
immune
poison bleed effects.
and
Okay.
bleed effects. There you go. So once that Roar of the North activates, you are covered.
Oh, I see. There's going to be a bit of stacking.
So the last few...
Oh, this is going to
the
mix
last
things
three
up a little bit
are
more
Gutlik
then.
And Glitnir, which are for your boots. These are increasing your armor penetration and then...
Oh, by 45, which is
got
nice.
reduced damage taken from falling.
I always feel like I
knows,
need that
because
falling
I am
one because I'm the one who
very,
always
very clumsy.
accidentally
Don't worry.
rolls off a
So
siege tower.
That's going to come in handy. Absolutely. This is just the first set of runes you'll unlock. There is plenty more as you progress throughout the season.
Yes, and speaking of unlocking things throughout the season, with Helheim, we're bringing in the seasonal seal system to the game. This means at the start of the season, certain aspects of the game will be limited for everyone, and week by week, more will be unlocked to increase
Yes,
the
I had
intensity
read
of
this. They're going to
combat.
do a sealed
Now,
system.
this system is something that we're going to keep a close eye on your feedback for, so try it out and let us know what you think. But
Yes.
first, let's take a look at how this will work.
The seasonal seal system will only apply to siege and field battles, territory wars, rebel camps, bandit raids, training battles, and selected event modes.
Is that not all of them?
Custom lobbies won't be affected.
Okay.
Don't worry. If you've got custom lobbies planned, if you were planning on having some sort of custom battle,
It's going to be limited to only everything.
That's all good. Now let's have a look at what will be unlocked week by week.
Stage 1, Wrath of the North, will start with launch on June 9th.
Okay, so we're
You'll be
limited
able
to
play with
3-star units.
Units that are 3 stars and below. Your bonus leadership will be maxed at 0. All
Okay.
bonuses for your equipment are sealed, all fixes are sealed, and you'll be able to add auxiliary units for 3-star and below with only 300 points.
Okay, so they're really
That is
limiting
correct.
us down at the
Stage
start.
2, raid and
I
pillage
kinda like that in a
starts
way.
June 20th. You'll be able to play with 4-star and below units with a bonus leadership limit of 20. Your equipment bonuses will no longer be sealed, but your affixes will be. So that means if you have a set of 4 matching armors, the bonus from equipping all 4 of those will be allowed, but any affixes such as plus 21 to leadership, for example, will be locked at that point. Auxiliary units will be limited to 4-star and below, and you will have a 400-point limit.
Right, they really are changing it up
Stage
quite a lot.
3, A World Ablaze. Starting July 11th, you'll have full range of units up to 5-star and below. Your bonus leadership will be capped at 40. Your fixes will no longer be sealed like your equipment bonuses, so that all of that's unlocked. And the auxiliary units will be 5-star and below with a 500-point limit.
Right.
Stage
So it's
4,
actually quite a while before any
Royal
equipment
Vengeance
bonuses are going to actually be
starts
coming in.
July
What do people
25th.
think about this? Do
Your
they like the
bonus
idea of
leadership
sealed
limit is
units
raised
or
to
not?
60, and auxiliary points will be raised to 600.
And then finally, Stage 5 to Crown a King, which starts August 8th. Your bonus leadership will be raised to 100, and your auxiliary points up to 700.
Right.
That is correct.
So not until the end of the season are you
the
really going to be able
season-wide
to really
system, as we
capitalise
said,
as the more
is
veteran
going to
players.
affect territory wars. So let's look at those campaign dates, and you can prepare yourself for battle. Those dates are going to coincide with the stages of territory wars. So let's go over them. Up first, Wrath of the North starts June 9th with the Borderlands and Ungveria open.
Okay.
June 20th is stage 2. That will be when Anadolu opens up.
Oh, we're going south this time.
Continue fighting for fiefs in the Borderlands, Ungveria and Anadolu throughout stage 3, which opens on July 11th. And
Yes, just
then
not limited
July
hours.
25th,
Not that you get
you'll
base high
find
leadership.
Turul Varos opening up. And finally, the crowning glory of Reginopolis opens August 8th.
But the territory wars will
Right.
be your only place to prove your skills in battle. Ranked is still around, but we have some very exciting changes coming to the rank battle point system. And we've been receiving a lot of feedback in regards to ranked, and we will continue to keep a close eye on how you guys are liking or disliking these changes. So please do let us know after you've tried it out. Now, each tier will have a specific number of battle stars that you must achieve in order to rank up and promote yourself to that next rank. You will win or lose stars based on your current rank, and for some ranks, if you lose a battle at 0 stars, you will not D-rank. So let's look at the specifics.
Let's jump straight into it. So, we've put together a lovely diagram for you.
Ranked
New
battle
blood,
point changes.
Rookie, and contestant all need 2 stars to promote. You'll receive a star for a win, and you won't lose anything for a loss. You won't be able to D-rank. Once you've climbed through those ranks, next up are brawlers and fighters. You will need to get 3 stars to promote. And similarly, you'll get 1 star from a win, won't lose anything from a loss, and won't D-rank. Slayers and gladiators.
Does this
need
feel like a
4
massive
stars to
improvement?
promote.
I'm not sure.
Again, you get 1 star for a
I guess
win,
it's simplified
don't
the
lose
scoring
anything
system
a
for
loss,
ranked
and you
slightly,
can't
but
be deranked. Arena heroes will also need 4 stars to promote. However, you will receive a star for a win and lose a star if
I can
you
turn it up
lose.
slightly if you're still struggling.
But you will
We'll
not
actually get
D-rank.
into game here shortly, hopefully.
Imperial heroes need 5 stars to promote. You get 1 from a win and lose 1 if you lose. And if you end on a loss when you have 0 stars, you will be deranked to Arena Hero. Grand Champion will then be crowned based on your ranked battle score.
Yes, so some changes coming to
So
ranked.
does it really change it that dramatically?
We do have some
They're just
changes
changing
for
the
our
scoring
new
system
warlords coming
slightly.
into the scene that might not quite be ready for ranked. We also have some quality of life changes coming to the beginner tutorial. We've reworked Hero's Journey to better suit our new players learning the ropes. Now, this won't affect your current progress on that quest, but if you've got some Hero's Journey quests that you want to clear, go ahead and do that before the update on June 9th.
Yes, that's soon. So, get on questing.
And we are going to talk about one addition that I am quite excited for. And I know that the players will also
Unfortunately,
be
you
quite
can't
excited
join the
because it was one
PTR
of the
call,
highest
unfortunately.
requested features to be added in a recent survey. So can we pull up the P menu real quick? And
We
let's-
certainly can. Let's. I'll pop us
take a
down here
look.
in the corner so we're out of the way. So let's customize.
Okay, what have they changed? Oh, as we lag nicely as the... Is that me dropping frames?
I want to try out.
Oh,
The
maybe that was
custom,
just me lagging slightly there.
Maybe a new helmet?
This looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I do.
Well, what if-
We'll get in
Let's
hopefully
go for
5-10 minutes.
I mean, my thoughts are maybe you picked up some nice face paint during the Highlander season and you really want to show that off, but your helmet covers your face. Is there something we can do about that, maybe?
I can't help but notice there's a little button down
Little button.
here.
I like a little button. Why do we press that?
There you go. The mask is gone. The helmet stays, so you can show off face paint, show off that face that you've become so familiar with, and keep the headwear. And if you just want to show off the entire head, you don't want to keep the headwear on. That's all good.
There you go.
There
So
you
they've
go. But if you
basically the
wanna
option to
cover up,
open your visor on your helmet
there
now.
it is.
I suppose
this
that's
is a
kind
feature
of
I know
cool.
that people have been holding out hope for. It was one of the
I'm not
highest
sure it is
requested,
necessarily
and I
one of the
am.
most requested features,
I
but
I
there
wanted
we go.
it until it was here, and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" So I'm a big fan of
It's
this.
not just masks. What about that swishy cape?
That's what she came.
What
You
if
know,
you What if you don't want that swishy cape? What if?
A wise person once said no capes.
Yeah. What if you just want no capes? That
There
is
it
also
is.
now
Look at that.
able to be removed.
Wow.
I'm so happy.
So you can hide and show cloaks on eligible.
Not exactly the most
attires.
revolutionary
So you've got that
feature
fur
is
shield, still looking, still
they've
keeping
ever
you warm.
got- they've
You know,
ever
it's
come
cold
up
out
with.
there. Raiding in the north, it's
There
pretty
we
chilly,
go.
but the cloak could get you in some trouble. You could get it snagged on a door frame or something. So you can take that off, but you get to keep all the rest of that.
I like the
beautiful
jack.
attire
Can we
that
also
makes
hide
you
lag issues?
Stand out. So there it
It's
is.
such a small little change. I'm so excited for it.
That is
It's so
correct.
good.
That is correct. But of course, we've got some balance changes coming to the game with the introduction of the Huscars and Varangian Guard. We can't leave our other Norse units behind. No, those Northmen need some love. 1 week after launch, that is June 16th, you can expect balance updates to the Sons of Fenrir.
Hopefully we
the
can actually get in
Berserkers,
game soon.
and of course,
I want to play.
the
I
Shield
want to test out the new
Maidens.
units.
Details will be released closer to the 16th, so keep those eyes peeled for more information on that update to the Northmen.
But that's not all. The Nadachi, the Pike, and the Poleaxe will all be receiving balance changes at the launch of Helheim on June 9th. Details about those will be listed in our patch notes, so keep your eyes peeled. Get to reading. There's some changes for those 3 weapons.
Absolutely. I hope you are
Very
looking
excited.
forward to that. And you know what else you can look forward to? The fact that we will be back tomorrow with some friendly matches with our content creators at 17:30 CEST, live on the PTR with those rework maps. Then again, on Thursday, we'll be live for the launch
think
of
they're
Helheim,
rounding
hopping
us
into
up.
battles with all of you.
It will be
right
interesting to
here
see what
on
changes they
Twitch.
make to things
You
like the
do not
Nadachi
need to
Pike
wait
and
long
stuff.
to see more Conqueror's Blade.
I think probably
Our
Nadachi does
content
need a
creators,
small
starting
nerf.
right now, are going to be live, bringing you a deeper look at Helheim. So check out your favourite creators, and we will see you all later this week. As always, it is an absolute pleasure for us to be able to show you
God, it's the
an
longest
exclusive first
ending
look at
ever.
everything Helheim coming your way. On behalf of all of us here at the Conqueror's Blade My Games team, we want to thank you so much for watching. We cannot wait for you all to master your fate when Helheim arrives on the 9th of June.
We'll
And,
soon be in game, and then we can start testing out the
back
units.
here tomorrow. So, on behalf of all of us, thank you so much for watching. And may your onward journeys be filled with glorious victories. Okay, goodbye.
Thanks for watching. Enjoy
Thank you so
Helheim. We're
much for
very
watching,
excited.
everyone. We'll see you soon.
Okay, hopefully
Take
we
care.
should now actually be able to get into game. I think I'm going to have to create myself a new character. You won't be able to see me quite at the moment, but you should be able to shortly. You can probably hear me slightly plodding along in the background, and then we can actually get into the preview properly. I can't even spell my own name. Right, are we allowed to start showing then? I would assume so. So let's see if we can close down that so you won't see anything. And then hopefully you should be able to see me. Hey Slam, how's it going? So we'll just load ourselves in. Loading, loading, loading. And then we can actually start to test the new stuff. Hope you got all your got all the questions ready for me. While you're waiting, you can feel free to give the video a bit of a like. You never know, it might help push me out to a few new people. You never know, we might get a new subscriber or two. Yeah, not too bad, Slam. Not too bad. Just testing out some of the new Season 12 stuff. Evo, any new games in the future for you? No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, there's things I'm interested in that will probably be on the channel, but by and large, I think we're going to stick with Conqueror's Blade. We're just being a little bit more erratic, I think. Okay, so here we are. Let's just get rid of the annoying little pop-ups that it's going to give us. Wait for it to load out. Loading. Okay, yes, just get rid of that pop-up. But they're going to have the achievements pop up now for like the next 5 minutes probably. It's going to be a nightmare. So, where do we want to start? I guess the first thing I would like to look at is runes. That's be what I would look... Oh, it's going to make me complete the goddamn quest. Where do I need to go for the rune quest? Complete Lore of the Runes at the War Scholar. Where's the War Scholar? Okay, over here. Right. To the War Scholar. Let's get our runes put in. Where are you? Is you over here? Yep. I'm not interested in talking to you. Speak with the artisan. Is it this guy here? Yes, it is. I can never remember the names of any of these people in town. The rune system has been unlocked. Yeah, the achievements are really annoying. It just happens every single time you ever play this game on the PTR. I don't have any runes that can be applied. Just let me have a look at the rune system. Okay, there we go. So as they seem to show briefly on the stream, the Roar of the North is kind of the new thing that seems to be here on the seasonal runes. So upon killing a hero, the rune triggers Roar of the North, increasing all types of damage by 30 points for 10 seconds. Has a 50-second cooldown. But then someone else down here, noticed, while Roar of the North is in effect, you are immune to poison and bleed effects. So if you kill a hero, you get immunity to bleed and poison. So I guess if you charged someone with some Namcans and then got them, then that would be quite something. I don't think, well, at least my understanding, I don't think you're going to be getting 880 leadership. I think that means they're just putting a leadership cap in at 700. So on day one, you can only have 700, and then once you get to stage 2, you can have up to 720 if your armor has those effects. So reduce falling damage, increase AP, same sort of stuff. Swift like the wind, speed boost effect, at least as if the pike needs to get away any quicker. Cooldowns of bloodthirsty by 12.5. Damage dealt and damage taken. Normal attacks become grape shot, same as before. I think that's the same as before, though. Don't play dual blades. Pushback. Oh, this is new, I think, for the poleaxe. Pushback cooldown is reduced by 1 second, and damage dealt is increased by 10%. I'm not sure that's particularly useful. A 1 second cooldown is fairly minimal, and pushback isn't really about doing damage. It's about causing the CC. Movement speed, damage dealt gradually increases after using the charge. These achievements are so goddamn annoying, popping up at the bottom. A passive ticking heal for the longsword. Nice. Stamina regeneration for the maul. The defense boost granted by Thunderstruck is doubled. Increases armor penetration. Okay. So extra damage for the spear. Just a base increased maxed health for the helm. Okay, we're back to some more Roar of the North stuff. So while Roar of the North is in effect, this rune increases damage dealt by 10%. Roar of the North is activated, when the helmet specific rune is triggered. So that's an armor, because the first piece was an armor piece as well, wasn't it? Yes, you couldn't have both. So when you trigger it with the helmet, you can either have poison resistance, or you could also have increased damage by 10%. What else have we got? For the first 5 seconds of Roar of the North, more. Roar of the North. Normal attacks will also inflict bleed, which subjects 100 points of health every second for 4 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Oh my goodness. 5 seconds of Roar of the North, 100 points, lasts 4 seconds for 3 times. So you can have 300 points ticking bleed damage for 4 seconds. So 1,200 points of bleed damage you can attack, which is kind of interesting. I think this Roar of the North, which you're going to be getting off your helmet from here, from the helmet rune right back at the start, is going to be really kind of important. Okay, or critical value by 70 points. I mean, not that 70 points is to be sniffed at, but I think I'd have the bleed damage. I like the little font code error there. Normal attacks will also inflict broken armor, which reduces all defenses by 6% for 5 seconds. Oh, so you could also do, what, an 18% defense reduction? Could be useful for hitting things like Iron Reapers and stuff. If you've then got friendly units shooting in, could also be quite effective. And on boots, increase all types of defense by 15%. Crikey. Increases damage dealt by normal attacks criticals by 20%. When your normal attacks hit a target with broken armor effects, you inflict 10% more damage. I guess that would tie in with Roar of the North for the glaive then. Okay, same for Maul, same attack. Okay, same for so everyone gets this. Increased damage on critical hits. They've all got critical hit increasing. Increased damage, blah, blah, blah. Inflicted with... Oh, okay. When a normal attack hits a target that's been inflicted by poison or bleed, the target takes 10% more damage. That's kind of nice for things like shortbow, because shortbow can apply a bleed effect, I think. So that's all. Then we look to them. Increased toughness, yeah, base. When your health falls below 30%, this rune triggers increasing all defense. Okay, so it's either based on killing a hero or it's based on your health being low. Okay. 50% damage reduction for 3 seconds. That's kind of interesting. It'll make you not invulnerable, but it'll make you pretty tanky. It's like not quite short sword tankiness, but that's going to make quite a big difference. After Roar of the North, 1% health every second. Well, Roar of the North only lasts 10 seconds, so I think that's only 10%. Increased movement speed with Roar of the North. After using an ultimate skill, this rune triggers Roar of the North. That's probably more likely, considering that the first hero killing one had a 50-second cooldown anyway. I'd much rather it triggered when I activate an ultimate skill. Particularly if you can then combine that with doing extra damage from some of the abilities, then probably using this is going to be the better way of triggering Roar of the North. Okay, damage reduced 40%, but then that converts to bleed damage. Oh, I suppose you could then activate that. Then you could put the... Oh, no, you couldn't put the bleed resistance. That's also an armor one. Goodness. Increased strength. Yeah, healing while moving. Agility. After using the old billhook, movement speed is increased by 10%, and all types of armor penetration are increased by 10%. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a massive poleaxe season. Kind of odd ones. I mean, I do use the old billhook, so it's a nice ability, I suppose, but a bit of a strange one. Cooldown reduction. Armor penetration. Reduced by 3%. 6 seconds can be stacked up. I'm not sure. Maul needs more damage reduction. Slow increase for the shield. Okay, increased damage when you're low on health. Increased by 15% armor penetration on Dragon's Leap and Avalanche. Nice. Sharp axe add marksman effect. Black Cowder Grenade's penetration value is increased by 50%. That could be effective. Although I think it's blunt damage, isn't it? Cooldown on killing a hero, which is nice. Damage dealt by any skill's bleed effect is increased by 30%. Wow, okay. Quite a selection of runes we've got then for this season. Oh, that was the attire, not the actual poleaxe. Let's just put some basic armour on. No, not Carnifex. Let's just get rid of that then. So let's go and have a quick look at them. So we've got the 2 units. Season challenges. Season 12. God, I can't believe it's season 12 already. Been here for such a long time. So the Huscars, we've got... Well, I suppose we could see them in the barracks. Presumably they've given us them in the barracks. Yes, they have. They do look pretty cool, I've got to admit. I really do like this sort of checkered brigantine they've got on. Although, why they didn't make it so it didn't clip through the shield, I'm not entirely sure. But they do look pretty badass. So fully upgraded, what have we got stat-wise? Jesus, 17,200 hit points. I could see these guys being really, really very, very effective. Couldn't you? I could just see them really end up dominating kind of a little bit here. Because they get some really interesting abilities. So if you didn't see earlier, someone's asking for the mic volume up. I can increase it slightly. Hopefully you can hear me a bit louder then. They work a little bit like a tier 5 berserker from the looks of it. So they get basically an unbreakable where they hold up their shields. They get reduced attack damage and movement speed, but they get reduced damage. But then they're building up rage, I think. So attack and defense, one wielding swords, or even swords. The unit can build up rage by taking damage and defeating heroes. Then they can spend this. They can pull out their axes. So when they go into axe mode, increase all types of armor penetration and damage by 300 as a base, which is really high. They then get basically an AoE sweep. But the key thing here, really, or there's two key parts, is the 2-second CC immunity that they're going to be getting is really intense, because every one of these extra 3 abilities all get 2-second CC immunity. And health will get a 50%, soldiers with less than 50% health will get a 50% damage boost, and 20% of their max health will be restored. So if they start to get close to going down, 20% instant boost to their health is quite significant. And then they get the same again, basically. Initiate a full power attack, 2 seconds CC, 50% extra damage, 20% health, and it knocks down enemies. And then 2 seconds CC, 50% extra damage, blah, 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 also knocks down enemies. And then that consumes the rest of the balance of their rage. If you had 100% rage, this would be the final one. And then they go back to wielding their sword and shield and building the rage back up again. So it seems like they could be extremely dominant, I think. But we will see. And then, so these are the Huscars. Although they're giving them these slightly weird name. They kind of look cool. Kind of like it looks like a raiding unit. Let's see what we've got. So 12,500 hit points for 230 leadership. 21 stat unit. Quite a good base movement speed of 5.2. And actually really nice base slashing statistics. So they get this boar's snout. The Huscars get in formation in front of the hero to help fight off enemies and then move along with the hero. Okay, is that like a cover commander then? So yeah, they get this buffing ability then. So they're going to beat their weapons to the tune of the ancient war song, inspiring themselves as well as their northern colleagues. I'm sure there's a Newcastle-based Geordie joke to be had there, but we won't go there. Increasing movement speed as well as slashing and blunt armor penetration. The longer the war song lasts, the more inspiring it becomes. Okay, so you can buff them. They self-buff, basically, before you charge in. And yes, I should say, welcome to everyone to joining the stream. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask away. I'll try and sort of get through them all. Although I would like to just get into some quick training battles in a minute. Huscars charge towards the nearest enemy, launching a continuous attack. And this one seems strange. I saw this one on the stream. The Huscars charge towards the nearest enemy and launch one all-out attack. It sounds like they charge in like a 360-degree direction. Which I suppose is handy if you get surrounded or caught out or something. But most times I'm not sure that's going to be all that helpful. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But this one sounds nice. Short sprint forwards. If they collide with the enemy, they immediately knock them down. In the short term, let's just throw these into a warband build. Yoink. Where's the other one? I've lost them. There they are. We won't put any runes on them for the moment. Let's just go and find... we want to find... Who do we want to find? Billeting officer. Billeting officer. I know where he is. I've played a whole season in this city. You think I'd know my way around the people. Yes, they have revamped all the runes. We just had a look at them probably about 5 or 10 minutes ago. You might be able to scroll back into the stream and see them. Okay, let's go to the billing officer. Unit training. Let's just have a quick little mini play around with them initially just to see what they look like. Haven't played for a while, more than a year. So asking you and everyone, is Conqueror's Blade still active? I mean, it is still active. I mean, it's not grown to have, a ginormous player base. But I think the player base is largely pretty similar to where it was about a year ago. Okay, so these are the Varangian Guard. So we get two formations then. They're dispersed. They go into a shield wall type formation. They do look pretty badass, don't they? So you can't switch to the axes then. Is this going to put them on cooldown? So if you put Unbreaking on, it's a toggle on ability. Movement attack speed are reduced. Damage taken is reduced by 30%. But after they block, they get... So if I move them, it stays on. Oh, I see. It makes them a slower moving unit. Well, let's see how much damage they block against an enemy unit. Enemy spear unit. So if we just block up here then. So in theory, they should defend, but they should also build up rage down here in the bottom. Because they're going to be taking damage from the enemy. Yeah, you can see their rage starting to build, actually. They're basically doing no damage, though. Because they're just in this defensive mode. Yeah, I mean, it says movement and attack speed are reduced by 30%, but attack speed is almost gone. It almost looks like they're deflecting. Do you see what I mean? It's not like they're getting reduced damage. They're almost like an Azap's Counter-Strike. Which is really interesting, though. Because they're just like not taking damage unless they get caught from behind. The rage is going to max out here in a minute, so we're going to switch to the axes. So, switch to axes. And then we can do our great sweep. Oh, crikey. So each ability is in turn. And then that forces them back to swords. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So that didn't work quite how I thought it might do. So when they get to their range then, so you press 2 to switch them to axe mode. But you could only then press 1, 1 and 1. So you get 3 range abilities. But they're non-optional. That you can only press them one at a time. So you have to get to 100% rage before you can switch to the axes. If I turn this off and set them into like a dispersed formation, how quick are they? What's the base damage? Getting 1,000, 1,500 hits, something like that. They can now switch to the axe. Does it actually decay when they're in axe mode? No, so their rage now is going to... Now they've reached there, they can stay with their axes out until the end. And actually, you can't get out of it until you do it. So the first ability it forces is the Great Sweep. So that's hitting like 3k, 4k? 4k, 6k critical. Doesn't seem that they seem quite inaccurate. And then leaping, yeah, 3 to 6k again. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So it's really going to be all about building that rage. It seems like they don't hit very accurately, if that makes sense. So when they're using some of their rage abilities, they seem kind of pretty inaccurate. But they were hitting pretty hard. I know they're only hitting a fairly low tier unit. But when you're hitting something for sort of 3 or 4k, they've got a pretty high base penetration. So I think that's going to carry across relatively well against other people as well. This block is interesting, though. How it seems to parry more than just reduce damage. Yeah, we defeated them pretty convincingly, but then they are just some real crap low tier units. A bit later on, we'll perhaps try and get in with King Alpha again and see if we can do a bit of unit testing. I'm not convinced that they're going to be bad. I get why people are concerned about them, because they're not exactly butchering the peasants especially quickly, which I agree with. But I just think they're going to do better against higher tier units relatively. Let's just grab out these Huscars quickly. I can get charged down by a spear unit. Oh, so these also get a block ability. So that's the boar snout. So they come with the... Oh, so to use the abilities you need to charge up the song. Oh, I see, it charges up. And then you can charge... Oh, crikey. Is it going to give me another ability after that? This one does go down quickly, though, doesn't it? I'm going to have one left, I think. Oh, no, that's going to give me... What's that going to give me? Something. What does that do? Gathering Storm. So you're very limited to what bits does where. Oh, this is kind of weird. It takes a bit of getting your head around how this all works. We'll check out what doctrines are available to them afterwards. We just want to see this. So it takes a reasonable length of time to build this up, which unlocks a Sea Surge, which unlocks then the Huscars charge. But it decays really quickly. And it's not an activatable charge, they just charge the nearest enemy. How long do they charge for? Quite a long way. And then you can use the next ability where they just go a bit ham. No, they can't get the last people though. Right, so they work in an extremely similar way to the Varangian Guards then. So you're essentially, to have any abilities with them at all, you have to do the war dance. So you can press the boar snout. So the unit just advances in front of you. I suppose that's nice. It's like a cover commander, but a cover commander where they stay in front. It's not ineffective. I mean, they are only tier 4. Strange you can hear them triggering, can't you, when they get through. Okay, that's kind of interesting. A little bit different to how I thought that was going to play out. Let's go back and have a look at Doctrines then. See what we're going to get in terms of Doctrines. See what we can be put on them. Not going to be easy to time, right? Yeah, it is going to be a bit strange. It's a little bit easier on the Varangian Guard because once that rage maxes out, then it's just maxed out. Paladins do kill peasants faster, but paladins also die extremely quickly to anything that's kind of half decent. So it's a bit of a mixed blessing, isn't it, really? Let's have a look then. So what are we allowed doctrine-wise? Does it say melee infantry special? So it is going to not allow normal melee infantry doctrines. Oh, it will. No, it is. It's going to allow us to put Ironsides on. Yes. Okay, that's fairly significant. Does it allow me to put any other sword doctrines on, though? Siege Fighter. Epic Sword Doctrine 1. Let me just see if it lets me put that on. Not that they do any blunt damage. I think they're solely slashing damage, aren't they? Oh, they actually have a range of abilities. That's interesting. So it does allow you to... What doctrines do we actually have? Do we have all the sword doctrines? It's limiting me to just 2 of them, or... Okay, so they have no charge, so that's why you can't use that one. And charge cooldown. Okay, so you're allowed to use sword-specific doctrines on the Varangian Guards. Let's have a look. Melee infantry, sword and shield. So this should allow it as well, then. Yeah, it does. It's just going to allow you to put the sword doctrines on. Yeah, and it's going to let you put Ironsides on as well. Okay, so you can use doctrines with them. Having Ironsides is going to be quite nice, potentially. It's going to bump up their defense a reasonable amount. What are we sort of looking like base defense-wise on this? Actually, not that high. Sort of 600 odd. I don't know what veterancy line they've gone. Damage dealt to infantry by 15. Melee damage taken by 10%. Well, that's fairly significant. Damage taken by armor pierce reduction. Block recovery. So it's a defensive line along the top. And then this is increased damage. Yeah, increased AP, movement speed, 10%, which is nice. Block break ability. Varangian's charge damage. Yeah, okay. So what's the bottom line give? Increases the number of enemies each soldier can attack by 1, so double hit. Would you be able to get that down there? You would actually, wouldn't you? Do we have any resets? Hang on. Consumables. No, not consumables. Anything else? Do we have an ability to buy any? That's unhelpful if they're not going to let me reset the veterancy line. Have we not got anything to reset the veterancy line? Gosh darn it. Okay, well that's slightly annoying. Unless you're going to let me buy one from here. No. Oh. Well, I think then that gives us an extra 5 points there. So you could actually get down to the double strike. I think I'd rather have double strike than 10% charge and 15% great sweep. I think that would actually be worth doing. That's probably what I would do. But we can't reset the veterancy line, so I can't check. So what's that? Reflexes, toughen up, weapon resistance, blunt damage. Shield bashing now inflicts knockback. Could be interesting to see. Could be interesting to see. But that 10% damage reduction seems quite nice, potentially. Let's just have a quick look at the veterancy line on the Huscars. So increased damage. So it looks like top line is the damaging line. Oddly specific. 10% increased damage dealt to pikemen. A ball snap cooldown. Blunt AP. Actually, just axe attacks add a razor sharp effect that can stack up to 3 times. The fourth attack will immediately inflict a 1-time bleed effect on the target. Okay, kind of odd. Shield attacks can stack 3% slow effect, and then the fourth attack will stun. A little bit of blocking stuff. And what does this give? During Scald's Song restores 0.5% health every second for 20 seconds. Damage taken is also increased by 20% while this effective active. So you're only going to be able to get 10% health back then. I suppose that's not bad for 20 seconds, but I don't know if that's super useful. It could be easier to actually just kind of just play them, send them back to a supply point. That's what I was trying to say. Let's go and have a very quick gander then at the Fame store, because I kind of want to have a little bit of a look at that. I also want to think about messaging. Just typing. See if we can get some battles with anyone so we can actually test them against another player rather than the AI. Here we go. Here's the Varangian Captain. Let's have a look in the Fame store then. So what have we got? XP card, pad of silver. This goddamn crappy blue horse that they just give away in every single event, which I absolutely hate. I've got about 7 of them now. I do not want another Sirocco. It's crap. The usual same armor sets. 100 unit XP medals, which is always nice to have. All standard. Rare Doctrine box, Skepman, schematics, Lotus Water, treaties. I'm not sure I would describe that as horse stance. I think that could be thought of as something else. Epic Doctrines, schematics, treaties, a bit of Kung Fu. Can you please get out of Kung Fu mode? I want to see the... Oh, God. So this is the level 100 Battlepass attire, but in the kind of alternative version. They've actually kind of gone more bland with it. Okay, and then Ode to War is the title that they're going for. Okay, it's just kind of interesting. So yeah, pretty much a completely standard foam store. Nothing really very exciting about that at all, to be honest. We can have a quick flip through the battle pass. We might as well while we're here. This was the attire they were showing off. Yeah, we weren't really huge fans of this earlier on. I don't think I really liked the green was one of the worst bits, although I do like this like sort of flappy part of it. The helmet we think is kind of cool, but the rest of it not so keen on really. Not going to lie, a little bit disappointed in the Fame store. The Fame store is kind of always a little bit disappointing, if I'm honest. It's always just been the same stuff for about 5 seasons now. I have shown the Rune. I don't have enough space for any more items. But we can go back and have another look at that in a little bit. This is one of my favourite banners. I do really like the banner. I think it actually looks pretty nice. Which is actually kind of nice to see. What else did they change? They changed nothing really. They claim they kind of reworked the Battle Pass. I'm not sure they have really. They've just, is this reworked? Just dump a whole page of treaties on and say, oh, it's brand new, it's reworked. I'm not entirely convinced. Although at least we've got some unit XP cards in here. The unit attire, I kind of like the horse, but I wasn't so much of a fan of the unit. Although, as someone kind of pointed out, it's probably made a lot worse being on a monastic model. If this was on something like an Armiger's with sort of like a shorter early medieval spear, I think it would probably look a lot more appropriate. So that could be a lot more exciting. But yeah, it kind of looks a little bit odd with this huge lance, but I think that's just because it's on the monastics. I did quite like the horse attire for this season, if I'm honest. I think it looks pretty good. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. A few people weren't so sure about it. I kind of like the little long ship style saddle. I thought that was kind of cool. Oh god, no, we're not counting the blades. That would take that would take ages. We're not going through counting each blade. We'll all die of boredom. We get the usual weapon that's in there. I think we get a legendary artillery selection box at 85, but that's kind of the same as normal. The level 100 Battle Pass attire. I'm not sure if I like it or not. As some people said, I kind of like the helmet. I do like it. I just don't know if I love it. Although it is pretty detailed, to be fair. They've actually done quite a good job on the modelling. I kind of like the breastplate with this kind of a sort of a brigantine style. I do kind of like. I don't know. It's good, but not great, I think. No, unfortunately, you don't get a bombard, I don't think, from the weapon chest. We can actually have a look. No, it's Comet, Catapult, Ballista, or War Rocket. So, unfortunately, no grand bombards this time around. We have done the runes already. We'll perhaps go back in a little bit. But has anyone else got any other questions they specifically want to have a look at? I think hopefully in sort of 10 minutes or so, we'll catch up with King Alpha and we'll just have a few little tests on some of the units. A few little sort of trial runs to see what they're like. But after that, then we'll probably... I will actually do a proper video reviewing the units to go out tomorrow, probably. That'll be my plan. We can go and have a look at the weapon skins. Oh, someone said F4, but this is kind of just the updated version they did on the thing, and you can't see each individual one anyway. I don't think they've changed it radically. I know they said they'd made some adjustments to the tutorial quest, but I don't think they've actually changed it all that much, to be honest. We can have a very quick look at some of the weapon skins. We won't go through them too long each. I kind of like the short sword one. I think it's almost like a falcon. I think it looks quite nice. Don't dislike it. The glaive, I think, is perhaps a little bit odd. It's not very glaive-like, necessarily. So I'm not entirely sure about that. Very much dislike the longsword and shield. It's like a Season 3 Condottieri shield, which I don't really like an Italian shield. And this sword just looks a bit too fat, really, for my liking. It's just a little bit too oversized, a little bit too fantasy, so I'm not loving that. I don't dislike the poleaxe. I kind of like the runes it's kind of hard to see, but I like the runing we get around the top of it is kind of nice. So I might get myself one of them. I think the spears look kind of decent. He moves it around so much, it's actually very hard to see it. And then proceeds to hold it just off screen so you can't see it. The Nadachi is absolutely enormous. I mean, that is such a hunk of metal. I mean, there's no way anyone would be able to actually lift that, I don't think. I mean, that's just absolute madness, isn't it? Look at how thick that is. I feel like they've just took all the weapons and added like 20-25% to the size. I almost feel like it's just gone a little bit too much. So we've got the updated pike, which I do quite like the look of, to be fair. I think it looks quite nice. We've got a musket, which the only thing I really like on this is the mini axe they put on the bottom of the musket. It is very cool, but I just kind of wish we could actually hit with it. Yeah, we can have a look at the shield makers and berserkers, see if they've changed them in a minute. And then, of course, we've got longbow, which relatively indifferent. Shortbow, which doesn't look too bad. The only weapon that looks like it's actually a vaguely reasonable size. The dual blades, which are some very chunky knives. so ridiculously sized. And then the maul, which actually I think looks relatively nice for a maul. So they've had some pretty ugly maul designs over the years, but at least this one kind of looks a little bit like Thor's hammer. Not a fan of the butcher's knives. They are very, very chunky, aren't they? I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. It's kind of interesting. Oh, you can buy the hero attire, the horse attire. So let's have a quick look then. What do we want to look at? Shield Maiden, see if anything has changed there. No, nothing changed in terms of base stats there. Nothing jumping out of me as being radically different. Perhaps they haven't... Oh, one thing I have noticed. Have you noticed this? If you control left click, it now says, so you don't have to manually input each veterancy line now. Control left click to apply points up to the node. When did they do that? Is that new with this season? Or have I just been blind for like the last bit? Shame they haven't updated the shield maidens yet. It would have been kind of nice to see. I assume the same is true for the Sons of Fenrir. A unit that I actually quite like. And actually I think is quite good, despite what Night Stalker might say about them. Yeah, they're just the same so far as they were before. Although I actually still think these are actually quite a good unit, to be honest. During Season 7. I wondered if they were going to make the leadership cost reduction come back in on Season 12. That would be kind of cool. That could be kind of something that they could actually do. So, we'll see. So I was saying, can we see if we can remove the cape on the Loki outfit? We'd actually have to apply it first. Oh, it's not. Have they given me the... God, there's so many attires. Too many attires. Have they given us the current season one, or do they want us to manually unlock all the battle pass? They're giving us a lot of the antique attires. Oh my god, there's so many different weapon skins and schematics. I don't think that actually gave us the level 100 Battle Pass attire. It did not. They want me to manually unlock. See if there's going to be an easy way of doing this. Yes, there is. Let's scroll all the way to the end of them. And just claim that. Point that. Whoop. And then we can now equip it. Bringer of Thunder. Yes, so one thing they were claimed that they introduced is this hide mask, hide cloak. So you can kind of see like how they've got like a front bit to the helmet, so you can just essentially remove that, so you just get the bulk of the helmet rather than the kind of the front bit of it. And then you can also kind of hide the cloak on it as well. I mean, I suppose if you don't want the cloak on there, it's kind of handy. I suppose it's a little bit niche, isn't it? I don't know if there's any other helmets I've got available. Oh, it does. Oh no. Oh yes, it does. So it works on other helmets, at least for this season, and that we could hide the mask on them as well. Yeah, it doesn't work for that. It doesn't allow you to take the chainmail off the front, which I suppose makes sense. Otherwise, it would just be like a tiny little cap, wouldn't it? I don't know if we've got any other good ones. Does that allow you to do it? Yeah, it allows you to take the mask off that. So it's probably going to determine... Yeah, I don't know if it's going to let you do them on all of them or just the current seasonal ones. Oh, yeah, some of them it allows you to. Imperial Varangian helmet. Okay, that's one obtained by the Fame Store. Doesn't even let me... Yeah. So, oh, no, there we go. So they've done that one. I think that's a Season 2 one, is it? So, okay, so they have done it for most seasons, which is kind of cool that they at least let you do that. Cape is always the best part. Why would you ever remove it? I do know what you mean. It does seem a bit strange to pull the cape off. That's just kind of one of the better parts of it. Wait, Evo, you're on? I am on. I am here. You are blessed with an Evo. Oh, it is giving you additional leadership. Huh? Say what? That was unexpected. Let me... Right. Someone earlier... Alan, you might be right. So you could have... Technically, you could have 900 leadership then. Is that what they're saying? Armor set bonuses in effect. Armor set bonuses in effect now. Crafted equipment bonuses in effect. But have they got a leadership cap? I don't think we can craft any... Have I got any padded silver? I have got a little bit. Should we... let's have a look if I can craft something. That would be really interesting to see. It'd be quite unlikely that this is going to get a leadership bonus 1 in 1, isn't it? Let's pick some light armor because it will use the least padded silver. I've only got 2 schematics though. Right, let's go to this seasonal store. You can see what I'm trying to think. This is going to be really kind of odd if they... Have they really moved schematics from the seasonal store? Because you don't get anything for free now, do you? Right, where are they then? I've claimed those ones. Claim those ones. Schematics. No schematics, no schematics, no schematics, schematics! No schematics, no schematics. Okay, then it just moves on to that. Well, we've not got as many schematics available to me as I would have liked. In which case, there's no point really worrying about armor type because we've not got that many schematics. Nope. Come on, give me some leadership. Nope. I rushed it. I missed some apparently. Nope. Well, I'll go back and have another look in a minute. Nope. Nope. There's more schematics in the seasonal store. Did I just miss them? Yes. Yoink. Do they give you any weapon ones? No. Well, let's keep crafting. Keep crafting. We've got enough materials for this, haven't we? Well, actually, we'll go back to some rogue boots then because they use less rolls of leather. Let's see if we can get a leadership craft. Nope. Legendary, but no craft, no leadership. Absolutely, Sir Dude Man. Don't forget to press the like button. Yes, do give the video a like. It does, I think, then help the YouTube algorithm. According to the Spiffing Brit, anyway, it helps the YouTube algorithm then push it out to more people. So it is very helpful to do it. Oh, dear. We've not got any leadership, and of course there's no market, is there? Oh, God damn it. This is not exactly going my way. I've not missed anything, have they? They're not giving us any leadership armor anywhere. Oh, we can't... No, because I can't get the stuff from the Fame store either. God damn it. 5 to go. 5 lux. Nope. Well, the game just does not like me today. Nope. God damn it. I don't think I'll get enough back from the salvage. We could try. We could try. It would be nice to know. I mean, someone else has probably done it before me anyway. We might get enough back to just have another go. Do you want to see me collab with Guardian Test? I think I'm just joining up with King Alpha shortly to do some testing. Just wanted to see if I could get a piece of leadership armor, really. I just wanted to test if that is going to affect the leadership. Yeah, I could just buy them for the smugglers, but I think I've only got like 1 or 2 schematics left anyway, so I wasn't really too worried. I think I've only got 1 schematic left, all right? Yeah, I've only got 1 schematic left anyway. Come on, fingers crossed. No. God damn it. Well, I'm out of schematics. I just don't think it's going to happen. Someone else will have tested it. I'm sure King Alpha's probably ended up testing it. It just looked kind of interesting, though. It looks like you could potentially get to 900 leadership. But I don't know if they're just going to put a hard cap on. And essentially, they're basically blocking leadership armor from being a thing. I'm not entirely sure. So we'll kind of have to see. But we can't test it because, yes, RNGesus is very cruel indeed and refuses to give me any leadership armor whatsoever. It just does not like me really today, it seems. I don't know what else we've got to look at. I don't think we can get any more schematics from anywhere else. There'd be some from the Fame store, wouldn't there? But obviously I don't think they pre-unlocked as the Fame store. No, they haven't. I do wonder if any of this is... Oh, that's got leadership armor on it. Can we get to 2,000 Fame through donations? We probably can't, can we? No, 970. Oh, that's painful to do that padded silver like that. This may seem like madness, but bear with me. Bear with me. That might get me enough, you know. 1,300. 1,300. Oh, it does, it does, it does, it does. So if I then get some Drill Master's armor, this gives me plus leadership, right? Yep. Oh, you know, every now and then, I even impress myself. So let's open that and then equip that. So now, yes then. Yes, 772. Right. So you can now have technically 900 leadership. If you've got everything to work out. Yeah, you could. You could. Wow, that's interesting. As unexpected. I did not know they were going to do that. That is going to mix things up quite a lot. Somebody's going to mix things up quite a lot. Oh, I know, but it's nice to test things out properly, isn't it? Yeah, that is gonna mix things up. It adds quite a lot of extra leadership. Realistically, you're going to be able to take quite easily 2 legendary and a purple. You might... No, you couldn't quite get to 3 legendary. If you got all 900 leadership, you'd get pretty close, but not quite. Well, I didn't realise. I think they said that before, but I thought they meant that they were adding a cap to the armour. So I thought when they said that each season was plus 40 leadership, I thought that was you could get to only 740 based on your maximum amount of your gear. So if your gear got you to 780, then it would just be capped at 740. I didn't mean they were adding that on in addition to. So that's kind of good, kind of interesting. Yeah, it'll mix it up quite a lot on Frontier, because on Frontier you also have leadership reduction doctrines, so you should easily be able to get 3 legendary units in on there. Which, yeah, I don't know if we necessarily want 3 legendary units per battle. That's kind of quite a lot. That is quite a lot. Ooh, what's that? King Alpha, maybe. about. Let's just try to see if I can get a few little battles in here. Because it would be good to actually get some testing. Will be blocked, all 700 max. Oh, true, of course, you get the 3-star unit. You don't want to play against such monsters. Laos, Keshiks, and Cataphracts too. Yeah, there is, because that's something, of course, they are doing. Is there? Well, it won't tell us on these campaigns, but oh, it does. Yeah, the highest deployable unit is 3-star at the start. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I think is that something they've had on Frontier for quite a long time, isn't it? The maximum level units, so you can only deploy 3-star units at the start. Are the new runes or just the same? Yeah, there are new runes. I won't go through them all, but kind of the main thing that they've changed is this Roar of the North. So there's a couple of ways of triggering it based on helmets. So this one is by killing a hero. Some of them are by using an ultimate, and there was a few other different ways. And then when you trigger that, you get a selection of possible abilities from other runes you can use. So this one makes you immune to poison and bleed. So when you trigger the Thing of the North, there's another one. There was a really interesting one. Which one was it that was so... oh yeah, this one adds a bleed stack. So for the first 5 seconds of the Roar of the North, normal attacks will inflict a bleed effect, which should take it to 100 points, and stackable up to 3 times. So there's actually some fairly interesting runes coming along, I think, potentially. So there's some kind of interesting stuff coming up and coming down the path. Yes, only 2 units this season. No tier 3. Poleaxe isn't going to be good anymore. I don't think it's going to be bad. I think base Poleaxe is still an effective class. Although we may see that it ends up getting a further nerf kind of at the start of the season. I guess we'll kind of see what happens to it. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not sure Poleaxe is necessarily going to be definitive bad. We've done through the Battle Pass already, Baba. We don't just keep going over the same thing again and again, and it's not very interesting. They are doing some of the older Norse units. Yes, they're supposed to be reworking the Shield Maidens, the Sons of Fenrir, which is the one I'm particularly kind of most excited for. And we'll kind of see from there. Well, perhaps. I mean, I want to try and get into some proper unit testing, but I also want to try and get a video ready for tomorrow, because this is going to be my last sort of available to record for about a week or so. So I want to get the unit testing underway and sorted so that I can get a video, and sort it. Yeah, you can just go back in the stream, Baba, and you'll be able to see me scrolling through the Battle Pass, so you can just pause at each point and count them. There is a longsword rune that heals every 0.5 of a second. Balance changes coming to Pike, Nadachi, and Poleaxe. Well, Poleaxe may indeed be having a little bit of a hard time ahead then. Maybe it's time to switch to Spear, which is kind of something I was thinking about doing. But I think... Oh, there we go. King Alpha's calling me. Yo. How's it going? Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I have no idea if you're coming through on my stream or not. It's... No, I don't know. Yeah, but they all think I'm talking to myself now. Look, I'm talking... Yeah, King Alpha says hi. I'm talking to King Alpha, but I don't think you can hear him. I think I'll probably wrap my stream up now, because I'm just not capable of recording units, and you know what I'm like. We've done this before, and you know how it goes. If I try and stream at the same time, then you know I'll just end up recording 20 minutes of blank footage. Well, I would send them your way, but I'm streaming on YouTube, so I'm afraid I can't. Although I suppose I can tell everyone, guys, that I'll end my stream up here now. But if you want to hear me, presumably that they can hear me on your stream, King. Then you can always come and listen to me over there. So anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully we've covered most of the stuff. We'll have a full video tomorrow looking at the 2 new units. That's where we can then cover that properly. So hopefully you've enjoyed the stream. Go and hop over to King Alpha stream and you'll still be able to hear me there as I faff around with recording software and try and get some good footage. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all on the next one. One sec, trying to end stream. Can't find the button.